Hi everyone, this is Sahil from QuickNode, and in this video, we will learn how we can get real-time blockchain data using QuickNode Webhooks, a new tool that will completely change how you get your blockchain data. So without any ado, let's jump into it. Let's start with a problem. Traditional blockchain monitoring means constantly polling RPC endpoints. You are making thousands of requests per minute, checking if anything happens on chain. This wastes bandwidth, costs money, and still misses events between polls. Plus, what if you're tracking multiple smart contracts or wallet addresses? You'd need to check each one separately, manage rate limits, manage reorgs. It's a nightmare. That's where Webhooks comes in. Instead of asking blockchain if anything happens, the blockchain tells you when something happens. Real time, efficient, and scalable. So QuickNode Webhooks gives you instant notifications for on-chain events across 90 plus networks. With fraction of seconds latency, the events are delivered in real time as soon as they happen on blockchain. There are built-in templates in Webhooks to get you started in minutes. With custom filters, you take full control and can do filtering on the server side instead of filtering on client side and handling all the raw data by yourself. And here's the game changer. You can use QuickNode's key value store for dynamic configuration. For example, you can filter for multiple wallet addresses or multiple smart contracts, and you can get events or notifications related to those. We'll see that later in the video, that how we can get notifications or events for multiple wallet addresses or smart contracts. So now let's see how we can actually set up a webhook on the QuickNode dashboard. Setting up a webhook is extremely simple and straightforward. You just need to go to your QuickNode account and navigate to the webhook section. If you do not have a QuickNode account yet, you can create one from the link in the description below. So once you have your account and you have verified your email, if you are a new user, go to the webhooks section and then go to create new webhook button. From there, you can select a chain and then select a network. And based on the chain and network you have selected, you will be given options to choose a template. Getting started with a template is very easy because you do not need to write any code, you do not need to write any filter. You can just get started within few clicks. Let's take an example of this template, contract events. In this, we can track EVM based contracts and their events. So for example, let's say that we want to track USDC contract and we want to track transfer events for USDC contract, basically USDC token. So what we can do is we can just grab the contract address, place it over here, and then we can get the events topic hash. So what we need is the topic 0 hash, because this hash, whatever you are seeing over here, is basically the hashed version of this entire event. So we need to track transfer events. So we will copy this and we can paste it over here. Now using this, we will be able to track USDC contracts transfer event. Then what you can do is you can test that whatever configuration you have entered is correct or not by running it. And once you run it, you can see the example payload. This is how the payload would look like. This will be the size of each payload. And then comes the part where you actually set up your webhook URL. So you can set up your webhook URL over here. You get the security token from here so that you can set up a security token check on your client side. You can also enable compression from here. And then the best part is webhooks also handles reorg. So you do not have to worry about that. Whenever there is a reorg, the reorg data will be sent again to your webhook destination. For the sake of the demo, let's grab a temporary webhook from this website called typedwebhook.tools. This will give us a temporary webhook URL, but in production or in your actual app, you will have to set up your own webhook server. And once you have your webhook URL set up, you can test the connection by sending a sample payload as well. So you can see that sample payload successfully sent. And this is how the sample payload looks like on the webhook side. And once you create the webhook, it starts processing blocks. And once it starts processing blocks, you can see the number of blocks processed, number of deliveries, the volume of data delivered. So if we go back to webhooks, you can see that these are being delivered from our QuickNode's webhook tool from here. And you can see the logs. If there are any errors, they'll appear here. And then in settings, you can change the addresses, or you can even add a custom filter code. We'll take a look at it in a bit. So in this example, we saw that we were filtering for a contract address and a contract event, which is USDC contract address for transfer event. But what if you wanted to track multiple contract addresses? You can do that by adding contract addresses over here. But what if you had a very huge list of contract addresses and very huge list of events? Adding them manually can take some time and can be repetitive, right? So that's where key value store comes into the picture. So key value store is a data storage solution using which you can store your extensive list of datasets and call them within webhooks or streams filter. So right now we will be using webhooks. So we will see how we can first upload a list on key value store and then how we can fetch that within the filter. So you can see these are the functions which can be used within a filter to create a list, get items from the list, delete the list, remove the list items, etc. So if you check, this is how a custom filter looks like. So in this filter code, what we are doing is we are first starting the main function, then in the addresses we are saving the address of our USDC contract. In event hash we are saving the event hash, creating an empty matching receipts array. Then we are running loop for each block, and then within block we are finding receipts, and then within receipts we are finding the log, and then we are converting the log addresses into lowercase, and then first log topic 0 into lowercase, and then we are trying to find the address and event, and if they match we break and then we return the matching receipts. It's very simple. Now let's see how we can create a list in a key value store. So this is an example where we are creating a list called token contracts. So what we are doing is we are basically sending a post request to the QuickNode key value store REST endpoint with the function lists, and then we are sending few headers except application/json, content type application/json, and then the API key. You can create your API key by going to this profile icon, then API keys. You can create a new API key by selecting whatever tools you want that API key to be applicable for. Coming back to our command. So this is the data we are sending to the key value store. We are saying that this will be our key token contracts, and the items within that key or the list would be these. So we are adding 3 objects, this, and this. And the thing is that each item within a list should be a string. So that is why we are making sure that each item within the list is in the form of a string. So if we run this, we can see that the bulk managed successful. Now, if we wanted to retrieve the list, we will send a GET request to the same endpoint with the name of the list we want to get. So if we run this, we will get the list which we just uploaded. You can see this is the data object which we just uploaded, which is this. Now let's see how we can retrieve this in the filter code. So to retrieve this within the filter code, let's go back to our webhook. So this was the filter for this single address. Now let's see how we can fetch the elements from key value store within the filter code and use those elements to filter for our data. I have this filter ready already. So in this filter, what we are doing is again starting the main function, then calling the QnGetList function, which you can see over here, to retrieve the items from the list. So to call the function, what you need to do is you need to call qnlib.qnGetList, and then goes the name of the list. Then we are saving the items of the KV list, which is this variable, into items. Then we are building a contract map where we are mapping the names of the contracts with the addresses. And then if no list is found, we exit and return null. Then we are saving the transfer event in this particular variable, then organizing the receipts. Then you can see again over here, just like our previous filter example, we are running a loop for block, then finding the receipts, then logs, then lowercasing the log address, then topic 0 hash. Then we are checking if topic 0 and the transfer event has the contract address or not. And if it has, we add the receipt. If not already added, then break the loop. Then we just return all the objects. If we run the test, you can see that we are getting the contract wise transactions. So we will need to change the webhook URL because the previous one must have gone stale. So let's get this new one. Then to save this, we will first need to pause it and let's save changes. So the webhook should be updated. Now let's reactivate the webhook. So to reactivate, you get two options. You can continue from the point you left in the past, or you can start with the latest block. Let's just start with the latest block. So you can see that the number of blocks processed and number of deliveries has changed. Let's go to our webhooks portal and see the output. So you can see these are USDC transactions. Now let's look for USDT transactions as well. These are USDT transaction, and the next token was wrapped ether. So these are wrapped ether transactions within this array, and you can see it will keep on coming as soon as a new block is validated. So this is how you can set up QuickNode Webhooks for real-time blockchain notifications, and you can use it with key value store to set up notifications for a list of wallet addresses or smart contracts. You can also update the list in the key value store without even touching your Webhooks code. Link to the key value store documentation also in the description. I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the QuickNode YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.